Hello everybody and welcome to Disney Animal Kingdom. Alright guys, so right now we're actually going to Kilimanjaro Safari because it's 5 minutes. So and it's gonna, I think it's gonna, I don't know, it's actually closing at 6:30. But we're just going there because short wait. And then we'll go to Everest, I think, and we'll try to see the Festival of the Lion King shows going on today. That's pretty good, you know, I want to see it. And now we're actually headed in to the queue line.
My name is Kirsten. I'm the Safari Guide for today's journey through the Brahmi Wildlife Reserve. While we are moving, please make sure you're keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. And please make sure everybody is staying fully and completely seated, so please no standing. If you do plan on taking any photos or videos, go ahead and get your cameras and phones out and ready to go. We're not able to stop for every single animal, and this animal certainly do not stop for us, so make sure you have your cameras ready. Entering right now is called the Little Aturi Forest. Animals here do tend to be pretty shy and they like to hide, so we usually have to keep a lookout for them throughout the trees and bushes. They also rely on their camouflage as a form of protection, so they're really good at hiding. And you can see a couple throughout the area though. So to start out, over on the right, that is an okapi. Okapis have these really distinctive swoops on their back legs where they almost look like they're wearing zebra pants. But they're not related to zebras at all. They're actually one of the only known relatives to giraffes. They have a prehensile tongue like giraffes do, so they can grasp at things with their tongue almost for like a finger. There's a few orangey colored animals around the left side. They're kind of back in the bushes some. Those are bongos. They have horns. Their horns don't stand straight up, instead they curve back towards their heads. That makes it easier for them to move through the forest without getting stuck in the trees and bushes. The grayish-brown animals with no horns are greater kudu. They get about 55 inches tall with just their shoulders alone. The kudu and bongos both have similar markings to them with the white lines that go down their sides. That actually helps them out with their camouflage that we mentioned, or it mimics the sun rays that come through the trees and bushes. So if you have trouble spotting some bongos out there, don't worry. They actually are so good at hiding they get called the ghosts of the forest. On the left, there is a rhino, a little bit further back up there. That is a black rhino. Black rhinos have these pointed upper lips that are also prehensile. So they can grasp at things with their upper lip just like the okapi can with their tongue. They tend to be pretty solitary, so you're going to usually find them by themselves. And they're a little bit smaller. They only really weigh about 3,000 pounds, and that is small for a rhino. But unfortunately, all rhinos are poached for their horns because some people think their horns have medicinal property to them. There's no proof what they do though. They're really just made out of keratin. That's exactly what your hair and fingernails are made out of. So poaching seems pretty pointless whenever you think about it for being something as simple as hair and fingernails. Around on the left again, there's two of these large black and white birds. Those are saddle-billed storks. They're about 4 feet tall and they have about a 9-foot wingspan. That's just a foot less than a canopy above your heads right now. And they're also birds that have monogamous relationships, so once they find their mates, they will be a pair for their entire lives. So usually you won't see them too far away from each other. We're now leaving that Little Aturi Forest and starting to go. Let's see, turns back around. So cheetahs are diurnal cats. Diurnal means they are typically active during the day and they do hunt during the daytime. They have a black line that come out from their eyes, but the sun out their eyes as they hunt, kind of similar to us wearing sunglasses. Something I think is really cool about them though are their tails. They do have these really flat tails that they use like a rudder. So they are running at very to about 75 miles per hour, and they can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour within just 3 seconds. They don't retract their claws. The extra grip and friction helps them build that speed so quickly. And they don't roar, but they are one of the only big cats that are able to purr. Coming up in front of us are these really large rocks. They are called Kopi rocks. Kopi rocks tend to be pretty high up like the Orsay. They do make a great place for animals to get to the high ground. So we are going to keep going around the Kopi rocks. Actually, there's a lion on the left. There's one back up in the big structure of rocks. So we can see two of the girls over there. Lions are not diurnal like cheetahs, but they're instead nocturnal, so they are more active at night. So it's great to see them up and awake a little bit more right now. Stop me again. Though throughout the day, their vision is very similar to ours, but at night the lion's vision gets about 8 times better than our vision, making it a lot easier for them to go out and hunt. But it will not be the male doing the hunting, it's the females. The male's actually the one that stays back at home, and he's the one that takes care of their cubs. A little bit what their manes are for. Helps add a little extra protection on their neck and their face. So they have to protect the cubs. They have some protection for themselves to continue to help them. It looks like she's coming around this way too. There she is. Really beautiful views of them. She might lay back down. They can be pretty lazy big cats. Sometimes they sleep for about 18 to 20 hours per day. And on the left again, there's a warthog. Warthogs do have warts, just like their name tells you. They're really big padded spots on their faces that provide protection for their face. Those burrows have been made by them too. They are the largest burrowing mammal. They make the burrows with their 2 pairs of tusks, and then they back up into their burrows so their tusks point outwards so they can protect themselves. On the right, there's a few ostriches. They have about a 9-foot wingspan, but they're sadly too heavy to fly, and so they can run to about 35 miles per hour. All 3 of them are females, you can tell because they have gray feathers instead of black feathers like a male. And those are ostrich eggs on the right. Single one of those eggs can equal to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. And they have really strong shells. A full-grown human man could stand on one of those eggs and it would not break. Though, again, all of those ostriches were females, so those eggs are not fertile. They're not going to really hatch to anything, but they can still lay about 1 egg every 3 days. We're going to go ahead and leave the savannah and make our way into a Magadi Glen, where we're going to pass the Warden's Post. The Warden's Post is located on the edge of the reserve, so we are getting closer up to the village and unfortunately towards the end of our safari. But as we continue through here, we're going to look out for one more animal. We're going to look out for goats, Nigerian dwarf goats specifically. And I'm sure you probably were not expecting me to say goats after all those cool animals that we saw. The little goats up here, they may be very small and cute, but they're also a really big help. So you'll see them over here on the left. One next to the truck there, but there's several more on the porch. But the reason why they are such a big help is because they provide a lot of milk and cheese, really high in nutritional value. Great for us to eat or drink. Or we can sell the milk and cheese to be able to get money to buy their food, tools, supplies we might need to have. This allows us not to really rely on any of those wild animals so much for food and sustenance. And we don't have to take away as many of their homes and habitats either to make more food, tools, and supplies. So those little goats really do create this very important harmony between us and those wild animals.
Yep. Ready? There it is. So guys, so recap, we just did Everest. We tried to go see a festival of the Lion King, but it's done now for the day. And now we're going to Pandora to ride on Fly Passage. So that's what we're doing now. And I'll catch you guys later. Tropical breeze drink
with the glowing ice cube.
Yep, with the glowing ice cube. And you can see the detail has around it. It has Stitch, Figment, and all the Disney characters around it. Dumbo, can't forget him, and Mickey, Donald Duck.
There is a special magic that flows through this land, the magic of nature. Pulsating with fireflies made more brilliant by the light that lives within you. It inspires us to forge new paths, explore the wilderness, and discover a world alive with wonder. Tonight, as we gather together under the branches of the Tree of Life, our luminosity ignites the magic to create a beacon, shining out and celebrating 50 years of the most magical place on earth. Place on earth.
Claro, con calma y al lado de Pumba.
Yo creo que es posible que este sea todo igual.
Alright guys, I'm in Epcot. Welcome to Epcot. And this is the entrance here, so we're gonna go in, scan my magic band, and get it started.